The most interesting thing about this Kansas and Colorado football game is something that nobody's talking about, and I can't believe for the life of me it's not being brought up and it's not being recognized. I got good and bad news for Kansas. Which one do you want first? I'll give you the good news. The good news is, you know what Colorado's going to do. You know their game plan. They're going to pass the ball. You didn't think I forgot, did you? I promised you guys earlier, if we get that video to 300 likes in 1 hour, I'd upload the Colorado and Kansas preview, and, well, here we are. I know it's extremely late on your Thursday night, but similar to prime time, I'm delivering in the fourth quarter. I deliver in the clutch. Come on, man. They didn't call me White Randy in 7th grade PE class for no reason. You don't just get that nickname, fellas. I earned it. Now, I know what some of you may be sitting here saying, well, Matt, that's all great and all, but what does your peers calling you White Randy in 7th grade PE class have to do with you uploading a YouTube video that you promised? And now that I think about it, it has nothing to do with me uploading a video I promised. But yeah, let's just get into it. You guys met the light go. Your boy Matt's going to deliver. We got the Colorado Coach Prime-led Buffaloes versus the Kansas Jayhawks. Whew, this is a tale of two teams. Colorado, on one hand, has had a, I don't even know if me saying this word does any justice, fantastic season. It's been amazing. The only thing that really could have made it better is if they would have pulled off that upset over K-State. On the flip side for Kansas, it's been miserable. Past couple weeks, they've had back-to-back top 25 upsets, but outside of that, they started the year out 2-6. Now, with those upsets, just like I stated, they've bumped up their record to a semi-slight respectable 4-6, but still not a good look. You probably heard this before, either from me or some other analysts out here. Kansas is way better than what that 4-6 record indicates. I'm telling you right now, if you're a Colorado fan, please, and I am begging you, just ignore that 4-6 next to her name. It seems like this entire year for Kansas, they just couldn't catch a break. They lost so many heartbreaking games. I'm not going to act like Kansas is some powerhouse because they're not. I'm not going to act like they're a top 15 team, but they are one of the, can I even say they're a hot team? I know they're only on a 2-game win streak, or no. Yeah, it is a 2-game win streak, but I don't know. Can I call them a hot team? Let me know in the comment section. I feel like when you upset two top 25 teams back-to-back, I can say that. So yeah, let's just roll with it. I can't emphasize this enough, and you are probably already sick and tired of me saying this. Please do not underestimate the Kansas Jayhawks. Now, with that being said, let's not get it twisted. Colorado should win this ball game. Colorado is a good football team. They're a great offensive team and a good defensive team. And as where it stands right now, they control their destiny. You heard me correctly. Not just for like, oh, the Big 12 championship. No. I'm talking about for the college football playoff. They went out and they're getting in. But first things first, they got to handle Kansas. And I assume, I haven't even pulled up the line for this game, that Colorado is going to be favored probably by, like 6, 7, 8 points. Hold on. Okay, got it right here. Colorado is only a 3-point favorite, huh? Kind of low if you got to ask me. And I know some of you are sitting here saying, well, Matt, you've been hyping up Kansas the first couple minutes of this video. And yeah, but I don't know. I thought Colorado would be favored a little bit more. But hey, it is what it is. The most interesting thing about this Kansas and Colorado football game is something that nobody's talking about. And I can't believe for the life of me it's not being brought up and it's not being recognized. To start the season, Kansas was a top 25 team, and they were one of the favorites to win the Big 12. Colorado was not one of the favorites to win the Big 12. Fast forward time a little bit, the roles have reversed. Kansas is one of the worst teams in the Big 12 currently, and Colorado is one of the best teams. I know what you're sitting there saying. Okay, Matt, I already knew that heading into the video. What does that mean? Great question, my friend. I'll let you answer it. It means that Colorado, for the first time in a while, has all the pressure on them. You see, Coach Prime and his entire coaching staff do an excellent job of getting his players prepared and to take on that underdog role and mentality. And I firmly believe this, Colorado loves, they don't like, there's a difference, they love to be the villain. They love to be the underdog. They love to be hated. They love to be the villain. Why? Because they can prove people wrong. There's certain teams out there like this, and heck, I guarantee you there's some of you watching this that are just like this. You have the same mentality. You relish the opportunity to prove the naysayers, to prove the doubters wrong. That's how this Colorado football team is. And since day one, ever since Coach Prime got to Colorado, that's been his mantra for his team. Hey, we're going to prove you wrong, and we're going to make you believe. Well, fast forward in time, here we are. You're 8-2, you're playing a 4-6 team. You're the favorites. You have everything to lose. Kansas, on the flip side, they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Colorado's in one of those odd predicaments because it's kind of a lose-lose situation. If you win the game, people are going to say, well, yeah, you should have won. You played sorry and sucky 4-6 Kansas. But if you lose a game, oh yeah, you're going to get ripped to shreds. This is a difficult position and place to be in, especially for these young college athletes. It is human nature to take teams like Kansas for granted. We see it all the time. And it's hard to hype yourself up for it and hype your team up for a game in which you know you're better than the opposing team. Hopefully everything I just said, it doesn't affect Colorado, but that is something to pay attention to. Moving along to the game itself, when they kick off the football, I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think Kansas can stop Colorado. Yeah, sure, your defense played solid against the BYUs, but they're the BYUs. I mean, they're not that good of a football team. They're above average, but come on now. Colorado's offense compared to BYU's, I mean, I'm trying not to laugh, but are you kidding me? There is no comparison. You know what I'm about to say next, right? Do you even want me to say it? I don't want to, but we may have some new viewers that come to the channel just for this preview video. Shedeur Sanders is going to go off. Shocker, right? Because, he's only went off every single game. Shedeur's going to do his thing. He's going to go like 30 for 36, 30 for 38, 300 and something passing yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns. Typical and average performance. And it's so crazy that's just a normal performance for Shedeur Sanders, but it is. Travis Hunter, impact player on both sides of the ball. I mean, you know what I'm going to say. It's the same thing over and over and over. Colorado is 8-2 because they have some of the most talented players in the nation. Here's another news flash. If you can't tell I'm being sarcastic, Colorado ain't going to run the ball. At max, they're going to have 50 to 60 rushing yards. Max! Anything past that is a cherry on top, and it's a bonus. If Colorado rushes for more than 75 or 80, 85 yards, yeah, you know they won the game. And don't let Travis Hunter's God-given talent and abilities distract you from the other receivers. I love me some Will Shepherd. And a guy that kind of came onto the scene out of nowhere in the last game against Utah was Miller. Where has that guy been all year? He had over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. And no, I didn't forget about him. Number 10, Wester. I like him as well. I got good and bad news for Kansas. Which one do you want first? I'll give you the good news. The good news is, you know what Colorado's going to do. You know their game plan. They're going to pass the ball. The bad news is, there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing you can do about it. You're not going to be able to stop them. My magic number in this game for Kansas is 30. It was my magic number, I think, in the Texas Tech game. I said if Texas Tech can hold Colorado to under 30 points, they win. If Colorado scores more than 30 points, well, Colorado wins, and we saw it happen. Same thing for Kansas. If you want a chance to win this game, you got to hold Colorado to under 30. Let's talk about when Kansas has the ball. Does Colorado have some ferocious defense? Like, I'm talking about top 5 defense? No. We know this. However, I like their defense, and I have them in the good category. And at times this year, that Colorado front 7 has looked ferocious, and that's not a word I throw around lightly. For those of you who don't know, Kansas does like to run the ball. They have a running back, Devin Neal, who almost has 1,000 yards this season. But here's where my problems start to arise for Kansas. You're not just going to be able to run all over this Colorado defense. This isn't last year. Their front 7, much improved. If Kansas wants to win this game, Mr. Jalen Daniels is going to have to play the game of his life, and he's going to have to play like we thought he was going to play to start the season. A main reason Kansas has struggled this year, and I hate to say this because I like them, it's Jalen Daniels. These numbers actually paint the picture perfectly. 13 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Not good. This is the same guy in 2022 who had 18 touchdowns and only 4 INTs. He hasn't been taking too good care of the ball, and all throughout the season, he's been an average quarterback. But, and I have an astronomically, extremely, very large, big but, the last 2 games, he's been a little different. He's been playing much better, but here's the thing, and you got to ask yourself this question when you're predicting and previewing this game. Do you think Jalen Daniels can go toe-to-toe with Shedeur Sanders? It's as simple as that. If the answer is no, Kansas cannot win. If the answer is yes, they can win. For me, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The answer is no. I don't think he can. So, you know what I'm about to say next. Give me the Buffaloes. I got Colorado, 34. Kansas Jayhawks, 23. 34-23. Mark it down. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But